Welcome back to the Fit Minute Podcast, Fitness for Real People, with your host, Gabrielle Mazar. On today's episode, Gabrielle interviews Jennifer Mathus of Fairway Independent Mortgage. They discuss their passion for gardening, how living your passion can help you live happier, healthier, and longer, and the booming real estate market and mortgage rates. And now here's your host, personal trainer and stretch therapist, Gabrielle Mazar.
Welcome back to the Fit Minute Podcast, Fitness for Real People. I'm your host, Gabby Mazar, and on today's episode, I have Jennifer Mathus of Fairway Independent Mortgage. And today, we're going to touch a little bit on mortgages, but we're going to talk about living your passion and things you're passionate about, and why living your passion and doing those things helps you to live longer, live healthier, and live happier. So welcome, Jennifer. How are you doing today?
Good. Thanks for having me, Gabby.
Yeah, of course. You're welcome.
How fun is this?
Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. I love these. I love these because you get to talk to people and hear people's stories just about life, you know? And
I've been listening to them. You do a great job, and I really enjoy them.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Good. At least somebody's listening. No, it's fun to hear everybody's stories about all the different things that they've been through in life, because everybody has a story about something.
Yeah.
And everybody can relate to whatever that something is. It may not be what we're talking about today. Today we're going to talk about a little bit about gardening.
Right.
Because gardening is something that we're both very passionate about.
Yes.
Maybe even a little bit obsessed with at times. But it's something that really brings us joy. And I know you moved a while back, and I remember you telling me that you missed something. You missed one of your plants that you left back.
Yeah, they become like your babies.
They do.
You know, I had this habit of having to go out every morning and check on them like you would going into your child's bedroom to see them in their bed. I go out in the morning and check on my plants to make sure they're all doing okay.
This is a true story. I also do that.
Just a little obsessive.
A little obsessive. You go and look every single day and you're like, did you get bigger? Did you get bigger?
Right. Is there anything wrong? Are you okay? Are you healthy?
Are you dying? Okay, you have a new leaf. You're so pretty. You're so pretty.
Exactly.
But tell me a little bit how you got into gardening in the first place.
Well, you know, my mom was an avid gardener. She loved it. She loved flowers probably the most, but she used to live in Arizona, and the heat was just too much for her. She's English, and she grew up with a lot of green, a lot of rain, and that she really loved it. So she moved up to Washington State, her and my dad.
A little more like
what
that.
She grew up like. And so her gardens and her yards were always like your typical English beautiful garden. Mm-hmm. They were just gorgeous. And she also would have a lot of fruit trees around, and she had the most amazing strawberry patch that I've ever seen in someone's backyard.
I've tried to grow strawberries a few times. I get like 4.
I know. I have one right now. But
they're the best tasting strawberries you've ever had in your entire life, but you get 4.
Yes, so I have one of those big strawberry pots, and this is this plant has lasted longer than any other strawberry plant I've tried to do before, because it's not so great in the heat here, but
anyway, so your mom would have strawberries and beautiful flowers.
Yeah, and it was just gorgeous. And of course I loved looking at it, but when she tried to get me as a kid to work out in the yard and weed and stuff, that really wasn't my favorite thing. But you know, I have a friend, her and her husband, or her husband really more, very into gardening, really knowledgeable. And I just really fell in love with all the tropicals that are coming up here in Arizona.
I think it's so much fun because same thing here. When I was a kid, like gardening was like, oh dear God, this is the last thing on earth I want to do. Yeah. Because you look at it as work.
Yeah.
But right. I think, my mindset has changed a lot, because my backyard used to be like a barren wasteland of dead grass, dog poop, and maybe like dirt, some like beer bottle caps, and who even knows what else, just a collection. I think I had I had a fire pit where we used to burn things, papers. I think there was like an entertainment center in there one time. Yeah, so pretty pathetic and sad. But once we decided that we were going to redo the backyard, we first put in irrigation, and then we first built these raised bed gardens. And I was, okay, great, this is fine. My boyfriend loves green stuff and thinks it's fun. I was like, okay, I'll entertain this for you.
Yeah.
And so we started, right?
You can start that way.
So we started gardening in these raised bed gardens, and I was like, this is kind of fun, you know?
Yeah.
You get up in the morning, you go out there, and you look to see what sprouted. It's exciting. And then we found all these tropicals. And it is the coolest thing ever. I mean, right now I think I have about 8 blue Java ice cream bananas.
People have no clue you can
grow bananas here,
and they're
and
amazing.
they grow wild, and they
Yes.
are so pretty, and they're so fun. And you know, now I have my first baby bananas. I think I sent you a picture of them.
Yes.
And they're about I don't know, about 3-4 inches long right now.
See, I left my banana trees.
Yeah, and you loved them.
Oh my gosh. I loved all my stuff in my old house, but it was time to move on.
Yes.
And so now we've added a few things, but of course we're trying to hold back, because not only is it an amazingly obsessive, wonderful, peaceful hobby, it also can be very expensive.
It can be pretty expensive. Yeah, I think, you know, and given, you know, they're
You just
plants.
have to control yourself. That's
They're
all.
living things, so
Yeah.
then things die. So then you're like, I just spent $100 on this, and now it's dead.
Yeah.
But then you replace it, and you're like, okay, I'm happy again.
Yeah.
You know, I've got my avocado tree. I've
How's
got.
that doing, your avocado
Oh
tree?
my gosh, it is out of control. It is
it
growing like
really?
crazy. It gets new leaves, like 100 new leaves every single day.
Oh,
it's absolutely insane. But it's shaded all afternoon, so pretty much throughout the
they need
entire
to
day.
Yeah.
I've got peaches, red berry and peaches growing. My mulberry tree is 20 feet tall.
Yeah.
I've got my passion fruit vine finally flowering, and my coffee plant that I kept alive. One died. This one is alive and thriving. So it's it's so peaceful and calming, and the biggest stress relief I never thought I could have or want.
No, I never knew I'd really like it either.
Because I always killed everything. I couldn't
Oh.
keep a cactus alive. I still can't, which is kind of funny.
I
But
always did house plants. I mean, that was still, I could keep that going. I was known for a while as the orchid rescuer, because people would get them, and then they think once the flower went away, they'd go away. But so I ended up having probably 25 orchids that I just kept going, and just that was a passion too. So
I love
anything
orchids.
that grows.
I can't keep those alive either. My mom loves them. She has
I could probably
a ton
help
of
you
them,
do
but okay. Well, we'll figure it out.
They're
I'm gonna,
awesome.
I'm gonna build a greenhouse, so maybe we can. Maybe we can.
I would so love a greenhouse. Oh my gosh. That's like the best thing ever.
So, anyway, see, things you're passionate about.
We can go on and on about this.
On and on and on. You get so excited about it because it really is something that you never think that can bring you joy.
Yeah.
And you literally walk outside and you're wandering through your garden, and you get excited. You check on them like you would check on your kids.
Exactly. Yeah.
Except they don't talk back to you, and they don't poop, but they shed.
Yeah.
And you still have to feed them.
You still have to take care of them a little bit
that's true.
differently, you know. You don't have to watch them 24 hours a day.
So tell me what kind of new things you've put in your new home.
Well, when we bought the home, it came with just this amazing grapevine that was already huge.
Oh, wow.
And we got a lot of grapes this year. Well, we didn't get them covered in time.
Oh, no.
So really what we ended up doing was being very generous and feeding all the birds, which really, really bummed me out. I like the birds just fine, but I really wanted those grapes.
Yeah.
So we had tons, and they're pretty much all gone. So that was a real bummer.
Yeah. I now have a bird sanctuary in my backyard, so I understand.
Yeah, I do too. And we like them, but they can be a pain. But,
Yeah.
So
My
I also
tomatoes,
have apples.
cherry tomatoes. They
I like
just
those.
demolish them. And I even have a cage around them.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They wiggle in there.
Yeah.
But
Well, we have a peach tree, and that had a great crop first year. Great crop. They were smaller than what I was used to. In my old house, we had a peach tree, and I don't know if you ever saw the picture or not, but
I don't think so.
Dave actually built a peach tree house.
Yeah. That's right. I did see that.
To keep the birds out. And that was amazing. That worked out so well. But we didn't get that built this time because we gave it to someone. But so we have peaches right now that I love. We have apples. My first apple tree ever. That's going great. But we just had to net it because birds are liking apples also. we had a volunteer tomato plant out front in an HOA. So that was really interesting.
Yeah, literally my tomato plants volunteer in a different place every single year.
Isn't that crazy?
Every year. That and fennel.
Yeah.
I get volunteer fennel all over my yard.
Wow. Well, I have a dragon fruit that's going crazy. That is all over the place. We have, peppers and a couple of moringas. I have a lot of seeds. If you ever want moringa seeds, I've got tons.
I think I still have some from the last
Did I
time.
give you some? Oh, you got to plant them. It's actually a really cool tree. Yeah, so it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh, well, I love it too. I just think it's so amazing to have something that really brings you joy.
Yes.
And moving along from that, if you own a home or are looking to buy a home, you can build your own garden in it.
It's the best place.
Yeah, let's touch a little bit because the market is going a little bit crazy right now, and rates are super, super low. So tell me a little bit about what's going on with the market and with the mortgages and housing and everything here in the Valley.
Well, the rates have really dropped, as you know.
I do.
And it went a while. Like last year, there was a lot of frenzies on homes where homes would go on the market and they'd get 2 or 3 or more offers at a time.
Gone in a day.
Yes, exactly. And then we happened to be involved when we bought a house in that same kind of situation. So that was sort of crazy. And then later on, it sort of stopped doing that a bit, but now that's totally like that again. And the reality is we just don't have enough listings for the people that want to be here. We're a very transient state. We have tons of people come to the Valley every day. And so we don't always have enough volume for them of homes they can buy. But at Fairway, we have programs for first-time home buyers, for people who want second homes, investment properties. We really have just about everything from FHA to veterans loans that are available. And it's we're a great company. I've been here almost 5 years. I really enjoy it.
Yeah. It's interesting because I've been in my home 14 years as of June 26th.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you very much. And I've seen so much movement in my neighborhood over the years, and it's crazy to see the ups and downs and the foreclosures and the spikes, and it's just an ever developing, evolving thing, the market, and it's crazy. So if you're looking to settle down, now's a good time. I mean, if you think about it, the rates are, or if you're looking to refinance, now's the time to do it.
It's because a great time to refinance for many people.
Many people, and I know it's a passion of yours because you're helping people and helping people get into a forever home or a first-time home or whatever it is, and then they can live and have a place that makes them happy as well, which leads me back to living and leading your passions, because if you're doing things you're passionate about, like I said, it can help you to live longer, it can help you to live happier, it can help you to live healthier. So having a settled place to live and at a price you can afford in a neighborhood you love, and building a home with a future in it, like for me, the difference in having that wasteland of a backyard
right
and the lush green beautiful place that I have now brings me such peace. And you just have to find those things you're passionate about. Maybe gardening isn't it. Obviously, health and fitness for me is a huge passion because I want to live my best life and help other people live their best lives too,
Right.
It's an interesting thing, living and leading passion. So tell me a little bit more about how you do things you're passionate about and why you do what you do.
Well, I really believe in home ownership, and I think that's always been like the American dream. You know? And that's one thing I think that brings loan officers into the business. Besides, it's a great job and there's flexibility, but to be able to know you're helping people buy a home that maybe they never even thought they could own before is really, really rewarding. And another thing we're finding too is senior citizens, 62 and older, are finding that a lot of them don't want to go into assisted living, independent living homes. Some of them do, and there are some really awesome ones out there, but some people are wanting to stay in their home. And we now do reverse mortgages, which sometimes people aren't quite sure about how they work or if they're really the best for them, and they're not the best for everybody. But for someone 62 and older that wants to stay in their home and needs help with being able to do that, either with getting getting income, not having to make a mortgage so that you have more spending money. So many different things. It just helps me make those senior years staying in your home even better.
Yeah, I
and
know
that's a big passion for me.
a lot of people don't know much about reverse mortgages, but they
Right.
know that a lot of people lost a lot in
Right.
them back when, the recession hit. And we're not going to get too much into it because I think it's super confusing and you could probably talk
know.
about it for days.
Yeah.
But if anybody has questions about it, definitely you can give out
Yeah.
your information. Anybody can
Yeah.
contact you about that for sure. But
Because there's a reason that happened, and there's some changes that have taken place
of
to
course.
help that not to.
And there's a lot of changes that have happened since 2005 when I bought my home.
Oh, yeah.
When I bought my home, I bought my house on an 80-20 loan.
Oh,
So I didn't
yeah.
need a down payment.
Yeah.
I was on an interest-only loan,
Oh, wow.
which
Yeah.
stupid. And I
And you were
had
young.
I was
yeah.
young. I was
Yeah.
20, 21, 22.
It's very common then, though, to do those loans.
It was,
Yeah.
but also I did a stated income loan. So
Oh, wow,
you basically
yeah.
just told the mortgage company, yeah, I make this much money.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it worked out because I'm still in my home, but for a lot of
Yes.
people, it didn't. A lot of people,
Yeah.
it did not work out, and they lost their homes.
And
And
those loans went away.
yes, they don't
You
do that
know,
anymore.
They a little bit's coming back,
Yeah,
but I hope we never get to those kind of mortgages again.
yeah,
Yeah.
me too. I mean,
Although it got you in your house.
it did get me. It did get me on my house, and honestly, today I probably wouldn't. I wouldn't be able to
Right.
be in my home if it weren't for that then. So I was very lucky. I think there are some people that were very lucky then too. And,
Yeah.
since then I've done a lot of remodeling I have completely from top to bottom remodeled that home. And like I said, again, built out that backyard into, an oasis.
Yeah. Look how much equity you've learned. You've gotten.
About $100,000 in equity.
Yeah, that's
I have
amazing.
right now, which is
Yeah.
is huge and somewhere I never thought I would be, especially given, everything. I was probably about $100,000 upside down at one point.
Right.
So the market is changing, the economy is changing, and it's a good time to set down some roots. And
Real estate's a good investment.
real estate is a good investment because you're staying in one place and you're building yourself a home and building yourself a future. And, like I said, doing something you're passionate about, whatever it may be. I was really passionate about making my house the way exactly how I wanted it to be.
Yes, yeah.
And now it is. So I go home and it is my peace.
Your sanctuary.
It's my sanctuary.
Yeah.
I wake up in the morning with my coffee. I sit out under my pergola that I've built that has my passion fruit vine growing over it, next to the koi pond that I just put in.
I know your koi pond's amazing. Oh, everyone's jealous of that.
It's a little bit murky right now, but
yeah.
it's okay. It's summer. But doing things that really, really fill your soul,
Yeah.
that really fill your cup, those are things that help you to live healthier mentally, to live healthier physically. We all have super high stress jobs, super high stress lives. We live in a time where we're constantly connected by our phones, by our computers, by our watches.
Yeah.
And having something that takes you away from that, like gardening,
Yeah.
because when I'm in my garden, I'm not thinking about anything.
No.
I'm getting my hands dirty and my feet are on the ground. And, I also have grapes. They're, I don't know, about a foot tall, and there are some grapes on them, but they're not growing well. But it just brings you back to kind of a baseline of, I feel okay. I feel good.
Yeah.
And I never thought that would be something that I would be passionate about,
Well, something about in gardening specifically, there's something about seeing things grow. We got this little teeny, just a few months ago, a boysenberry plant. It's 6 feet tall now. And it's like there's something amazing and life-affirming and feel good about seeing things grow. Whether it's people's growth,
Right.
Right?
Absolutely.
That's amazing to see
Yeah.
that. And seeing it in your garden just sort of, it's relaxing and de-stresses you. And I agree, mental health is super important, and that I think contributes to it for when you find a good hobby to do.
I feel the same about my plants and my clients. Actually,
yes, exactly.
You just kind of touched on two of the things that really give me life. You know,
me too.
it's like having my coffee plant grow. Literally, it's my favorite plant because I killed one before.
And I've never had a coffee plant.
Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with it. I'm so super obsessed with it. But it's like, I don't know, it's maybe about 2 feet.
Yeah.
And it's doubled in size. It gets new flowers every single day. I take my little watering can and I sprinkle it with water like it's raining. And I talk to it and I nurture it. And when it flowers, I'm so excited because I've kept this thing alive.
Yes.
But then from a work standpoint, with my job, I feel the same way about my clients. I have clients that I've had for 6-7 years that are maintaining, and they're healthy and they look good and they're happy and they just want to stay healthy. But I know where they started.
Right.
Even though they're here 7 years later, I know where they started. I know that, they couldn't do a push-up or, now they're benching 20, 25 pounds when before that would never happen, you know. And then I see the people in the short term that make such huge progress. I had a client the other day tell me she went to the doctor and she lost a half a pound and she was so excited. I'm like, that's great. But she was so happy. She's like, I have not budged in forever.
Wow.
In years. And I'm so happy that even though it's small progress,
exactly,
it's progress. So I'm like, that's great.
Yeah.
And then she got down on the floor and put her soles of her feet together and touched her nose to her toes. And I was like, this is interesting, but I love it. She's like, these are accomplishments. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
But those are like that. I'm so passionate about that because it's such a huge thing to see growth in your clients, growth in your garden, growth in your home. And, you being in the mortgage industry, you see people get into a home and they love it and they're happy and they build a family there. And, maybe years later they come back and want to refinance or...
we stay in connection with them.
It's huge. It's huge. So, a few things about, like, living your passion that you don't think about, like you're more productive because you're excited about it, and you can inspire others because you're doing something that inspires you to inspire somebody else to do something. So, that's another reason I do these podcasts, because I think everybody that I have on here is so inspiring. Even though if it's just daily life, like, mortgage is boring, but it could like...
Mortgage is boring?
Mortgage is boring.
Maybe to some people. Not to all of us.
And, if you're truly passionate about something, you don't have regrets.
Yeah.
You don't think about, well, you might. I think when you're an entrepreneur, you always have a little bit of, maybe not regret, but doubt, that you're doing the right thing. But I never regretted any decision I made in my path, because I knew that I wanted to be somewhere and I wanted to help people and I wanted to wake up every morning and love what I do.
And we learn from our experiences and we learn from our mistakes, right? So even like with our plants, we can just so use those analogies in our business life, right?
That's true.
So when those plants we screwed up, I don't know if I could I say screwed up?
Yeah.
When we
you can say whatever you want.
Okay, cool. So when we screw up and we didn't water them or didn't feed them or whatever, that goes right back into our business life.
Yeah.
Okay, we didn't water, we didn't
I didn't nurture.
We didn't connect with our people, we didn't build relationships. I mean, it's really very similar.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That is so true, because you take what you learned from, I have killed 2 avocado trees, 2 of the Aravipus.
I have 2.
And I honestly don't know what I did.
Yeah.
The first time I know that it got too much sun and it got burnt.
Mine
and
was
died.
too much sun.
The second time, no clue. I have no clue.
Really?
But I'm letting that sit for a little bit so that I can kind of learn. And work on that area of the yard
Right.
so that I have a better microclimate or a better environment
Right.
for the next tree. But I've also in my business learned that,
Right.
you know, through the years, I've worked at various places or with certain people, and I've learned what I want to do with my clients and the environment I want to create, and absolutely the environment that I don't want to create.
Right.
You know, I don't want people to feel like they're locked into something they don't want to be in. I don't want people to feel like they have to be there. I want them to want to be there. Like, working out is not something that everybody wants to do, but people want to come in because they want to be healthy. They want to see me. Wink, wink. No. But, you know,
Of course.
Yeah, obviously.
Yes.
But it's all about the environment and the experience that you create.
Yeah.
So gardening has really actually taught me a lot as well. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that you brought that up because it's very, very true. But
And as a business owner, just like in gardening, when we fail with something, or like you were saying, sometimes, you know, let's say I grew an avocado tree. I haven't gotten another avocado tree yet. I don't really want one at this point because I don't think I could work with it well. Same thing with, for
Right.
you, your specific customer.
yeah,
You know, you might have some really grumpy people. You decide you don't want to work with them.
I don't. For
She
any of my
only
clients.
wants nice,
For
kind,
any of my clients listening, I
happy
love you
people.
all.
Because none of you are super grumpy, I'm sure. Grumpy was a thought. Maybe it's a different kind of client. I don't know.
Everybody's grumpy at some point, but you know, we're allowed our
I
good
know
and
you're
bad
never
days.
grumpy.
But no, I am super fortunate to have such an amazing group of clients that I work with, and it is something I'm hugely passionate about. And I think you attract the type of person that you are.
Yes.
Or that
agree.
you want. And I think that most of my clients are very similar to me in a lot of ways. And, you know, we, of course, have our differences. But,
Yeah.
you know, I'm very, very fortunate to have had the most wonderful experience with most, if not all, of my clients. And like I said, I think it's because it's something I'm very passionate about, and it's something that I really, truly care about. And I take a lot personally because I really care.
You care about
I
them. Yeah.
care about them as
Yeah.
human beings. I care about their goals. I care about where they want to be, where they are. And, you know, not to say that other trainers don't do that. They absolutely do. But, you know, there are some that don't, and some people have really bad experiences, but my goal is to really create the best experience I can for every single person that walks through my doors.
And it's finding that fit, right?
And
So
it's
people
finding that
connect with
perfect
you.
fit. Oh,
You
absolutely.
know what I really like about you is that you're not only a personal trainer, but you do your stretch therapy.
Yep, I do the stretch
That
therapy as
intrigues
well.
me, and I don't always see personal trainers doing both. But the stretch, maybe they do, and they don't advertise it or talk about it.
Yeah.
But your stretch therapy intrigues me.
It's
So-
something a little bit different,
Yeah.
that I do, that I add in, and it's getting more popular now. But I like to add that in because people don't stretch.
Yeah.
People don't do that.
Well, we
It
sit
just-
at desks in front of computers all day.
long.
Yeah.
All day long, you're in your car, you're in
Yeah.
a desk, you're sitting in front of the TV.
Right.
I mean, that's hours and hours a day that you're just sitting and doing nothing. But
That's why everyone needs you.
everybody needs a Gabby. No. But anyway, so living out something you're passionate. Find something that gives you joy, that brings you passion, that is something that you can do outside of your daily routine. You know, if you can't have a job that you're passionate about, find something that at home that makes that really ignites that fire in you, because it will help you to live healthier, to live better, to live longer, to live happier. Because you know, I never thought gardening would be something I would be into, and I am obsessed.
Yes, my mom would be so surprised.
I literally go through I saw a post, you know, Seamus O'Leary's Tropical
Yes.
Fruit Trees, plug.
Yeah.
But he posted a video about him in his backyard with a flashlight.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, do other people do this? I was like, oh
Or
my
like-
God, I do.
We're like, yes.
I literally walk around my backyard with a flashlight.
Yeah.
Is that weird?
And there's a man with passion.
There is a man with passion,
Yes.
that is for sure.
Yeah.
You know, and he loves what he does.
Yes.
But
I've learned a lot from him. Yeah.
But
I have.
so for anybody out there that's looking to gardening, you can grow tropical fruit here. Believe it or not, there are tropicals that you can grow: avocados, bananas,
I had great
mangoes, papayas.
Yes.
What else? All
I
kinds.
don't know, figs.
Passion fruit, dragon fruit,
Oh, yeah.
figs.
Yeah.
I haven't had a dragon fruit, so I'll have to try one of yours when they're.
I'll give you a
when they're-
cutting.
Okay.
Yeah,
Perfect.
it's gone crazy. But yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyway, so find something you're passionate about, live your passion, live better. And if you have any questions about if you're interested in buying a home or looking for a home, or
Need to finance a home.
need to finance a home, and want to know if you can get pre-qualified because you want to set down some roots here, you can give Jennifer a call at Fairway Independent Mortgage. How do we contact you?
My phone number is 602-819-7827.
Yeah, give her a call. See
Call
if
or text.
Call or text. See if she can get you pre-approved for a
Yeah.
home here, and then you can.
Or just information.
Or just
and
information.
education.
Yeah.
We find a lot of people just want to know if they can or how do they get to that point. I had someone come up to me yesterday and said, I don't own a home yet, but I want to find out what do I need to get a home. So maybe they have some things in their credit they have to fix. Maybe we have to talk to them about their debt or how to save some money or not save as much money as they need or think they need. So we can just even help you get on the path to home ownership also.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's great. I think you're passionate about what you do, and living that with your job and with your
gardening.
home and your gardening, and me
Yeah.
too. And we share
Yeah.
a lot about that. Clearly, we're very excited today. So, if you have any questions or want any more information, please contact her, and you can get more information from her. So, thank you all for listening, and
Thank you.
We'll see you next week.
Thank you so much for listening to the Fit Minute Podcast, Fitness for Real People, with your host, Gabrielle Mazar. If you'd like more information on today's interview, you can find them in the show notes, or you can find them on Gabrielle's website at www.healthybodyworksaz.com. Be sure to share the show, give this podcast a review, and subscribe so you won't miss an episode. Join us next week to hear more stories of people just like you. This has been the Fit Minute Podcast with Gabrielle Mazar.